Hi guys, my name is Esther Daniel and you're welcome back to the channel. So the new US Census is out and the folks are freaking out. Why? Because it looks like the government just separated Black Americans from African American. It's either a sign of progress or a trap. Let's see how people are reacting to this and I will share my thoughts. Before we do that, please subscribe to the channel, like and share the video to help the channel out.
Okay, the new U.S. Census separates Black Americans from African Americans. And a lot of people are confused why. They saying because, they're trying to get ahead of things or because they know the truth. It's none of that stupid shit. America is always one step ahead of you guys. They got a think tank to think these things out. Okay, you got to think what's happening. Africans are trying to get our reparations from Black Americans, right? So, and Africans have the power to do that because they have a government, right? And they have a force, they have an army, they have a nation, they have a country, a continent of people who can fight for this thing and who will eventually win it. So, America's saying, hold up, we got to stop that shit right now. Those are not Black Americans. They didn't suffer any slavery or anything like that. They the ones that sold them. So America knows the truth. So they have the right to differentiate us. And they know who we are. Y'all better use them little brains y'all got. I'm telling you, America is always a step ahead of their sneaky, grimy asses. But I'm glad they did it because Africans was trying to get our money, y'all. And America never planned on giving it to us. But with the power that Africa holds as an army and a continent of people, America was kind of shifty because they said, you know what? With the Black Americans' power, they can work with the Africans and definitely get that money and overcome us.
So America has put out that new census report and differentiating African Americans from the different type of melanated people from islands and actually from Africa. And some people are confused on like, why? Why? Baby, because they're trying to get ahead of things. They're trying to give us the truth even though we're already discovering the truth. They're trying to possibly prevent us from wanting to correct our statuses where you differentiated us from African American to the other types of melanated people. Baby, give us our titles back. And actually, don't give a shit. Don't give a shit because we're going to still take it. We're still going to take it. Yeah, we're still going to take it because we're not even African Americans. We don't want your reclassification. No, 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 no. We want our land back and we want our titles back. We want our ability to be able to operate freely on our land. So if you think you're doing us a big one by differentiating us and letting the world know that we're actually African Americans, no, baby. Do us the biggest one and get the fuck out of here. Okay? But to anyone who is confused, it is because out where y'all all think we look alike, honey, a lot of us don't come from Africa. And if our DNA does come from Africa, it's because our ancestors migrated here, possibly through the Grand Canyon, but it's okay. Different topic, different story, different day, but we were here. And many of us can trace our genealogy many generations right here on American soil. And before 1865, before they came, doing stuff, doing the mostest to the hostess, we were already here. And we didn't go by African American. So while they think they're differentiating us, they put our real titles up there. Give us back, don't give us shit. We're taking it.
So this is the new census, U.S. Census for race and ethnicity. I know a lot of y'all struggle with that, Black immigrants. So you see up here at the top is white. You have German, Irish. I don't see anything about white American up there. I guess they just own the white box. Then you have Hispanic or Latino. Wow, congratulations to the Latino and Hispanics. Y'all finally got y'all own race after avoiding it for hundreds of years. Now you no longer have an excuse to identify as white, but yeah, whatever. So you have Mexican or Mexican American, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Salvadorian, Dominican, Colombian. Here we go. A black box, Black or African American. So you could choose African American if you're African American. You could choose Jamaican. You could choose Haitian. You could choose Nigerian, Ethiopian, Somali. I know Somali probably wish they were down here in the Middle Eastern or North African box. As you can see down here, they don't consider themselves as racially black. They're not black race-wise, but they could still check off Middle Eastern or North African. African, yeah. But once again, I want to go back to the black box. You see that? We're the Americans, right? Okay, then you have Asian. I guess, no, there's no such thing as an Asian American, according to the census. But anyway, here's American Indian or Alaska Native. Then you go down here, there's a Native Hawaiian or into the Mexicans. How you see how this says the Mayan or Aztec, they're under Native American Indian and Alaska Native box. So you guys got your own box, and it doesn't say indigenous nowhere over here. But yeah, tell me how you feel about this census.
Breaking news you can use, folks. You're going to want to hear this. There are reports of another outbreak of criticism towards Black Americans, making this the 5011th time this month, just in time for Juneteenth. Folks, apparently the push from Black Americans to prioritize their own issues has caused shockwaves through various communities, specifically the Black immigrant community, who feel Americans deciding to take a back seat during these ICE protests and critiquing the anti-Black rhetoric from the other non-Black groups, in addition to the anti-Black American rhetoric from other Black groups, is Black Americans participating in something they're calling Black nationalism. They invoke the names of such groups such as FBA and Hebrew Israelites and Pretendians, as they are called, using those groups to insinuate that Black Americans are starting to behave as some type of hate group. What I'm seeing, folks, is that Black Americans have never really been defined or acknowledged as a distinct ethnic group and are viewed as solely a stolen people from Africa, removed from their homeland and with no culture that is distinctly their own, despite evidence of the contrary, because Black American culture can be seen to have directly influenced all cultures across the globe through varying forms of cultural appropriation. Apparently, it's okay to call Black Americans colonizers on a land where we were brutally forced to over 400 years ago. You see, folks, Black Americans have this very unique experience of being Black people dropped off onto a land during the transatlantic slave trade and enslaved and not becoming the dominant culture, meaning Black people that were enslaved and dropped off in different countries such as Jamaica or Haiti. The Black people there became the dominant culture. And so when you think of places like Haiti and Jamaica, you think Black. And you think about all the things that are distinctly a part of their culture. And it is understood that that is their culture and is respected as such. Unlike with Black American culture, which is often disrespected and attributed to other various ethnic and racial groups, such as with box braids. Black Americans have long been considered to be a form of diluted extensions of Africa, whereas other Black ethnicities, unless in Africa, are recognized as their own distinct ethnic group. That is why the insult for Black Americans is often, you don't even know where you come from, despite being in America for over 400 years. Black Americans are apparently viewed more like white Americans, having no home of origin and just simply migrants with no culture on stolen land, despite Black people not being the thieves and actually having a culture. Black American culture is seen more as an extension of American culture, meaning for everyone, instead of it being a distinct part of Black American ethnicity. This lack of cultural awareness and lack of defining Black American ethnicity has long caused tension within the Black American community and without. And that's where the feeling of the need to gatekeep comes from. Because when you are not viewed as an ethnic group with a distinct culture, and instead thought of as a branch of your colonizers, and just as a stolen, previously enslaved people, it leads to a sense of cultural inferiority. And that lack of acknowledgement by others eventually reaches its breaking point. And I believe that's what we're seeing today. Folks, I believe that this could be the start of openly and specifically distinguishing a Black American ethnic group, a tribe of sorts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This has been Crystal Black with news you can use. Toodaloo.
So here is what really happened. The government changed the way they asked about race and ethnicity. Now, instead of two separated questions, it's all in one box. You still check Black or African American, but they don't want to add more details like Jamaican, Nigerian, whatever fits. At first, it sounds fine, but it's not, because the more they break us into little groups, the easier it is to divide us. They will say, well, this group is doing okay and ignore the rest. It's not really about understanding us. It's about controlling the numbers. It's the government choosing who matters, who gets help, who gets left out. Don't let these new labels fool you. If we are not the ones naming ourselves, then we are just another checkbox in their system. Anyway, guys, these are just my opinion, and I would like to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share the video to help the channel out. See you in the next one. Bye.